Turmoil. Two top candidates revealed in the speaker's race as concerns within Republican circles grow over one candidate in particular. Plus,
you have to budget for the future consequences of this loan every single day.
Millions just had their loans forgiven by the Biden administration, but for those holding more than $1 trillion in student debt, it's now time to pay up. So we dive into how the student loan crisis is impacting Americans nationwide. And
like the soundtrack of your life. It's like remembering your childhood, your friends, your boyfriend, all that things you already lived, but they are in your heart.
Their music went beyond the TV screen. Now, 15 years later, their tour has captivated their loyal fan base's nostalgia. Good evening. I'm Phil Lipoff in tonight for Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We are following those stories and much more, including the political infighting over the resumed construction of the U.S.-Mexico border wall. One outspoken Hispanic group looking to put pressure on the administration and Congress to pursue immigration reform in lieu of the wall. Plus, the flash flood threat in the Northeast, heavy rain from New York to Boston this weekend, and the WNBA Finals kicks off this weekend as well. Can the New York Liberty finally bring the trophy home? We're going to take a look at the Liberty Aces matchup by the numbers. Our correspondents are fanned out across the country covering those stories and much more for us tonight. But we are going to begin in Washington, where former President Trump is inserting himself into the race to become the next Speaker of the House. Trump has now endorsed Jim Jordan, the firebrand congressman from Ohio and the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Trump has also said, despite running for president, he'd be willing, at least temporarily, to do the job, and it's not the first time he's lobbied for this position. Republicans are set to meet early next week and could vote as soon as Tuesday to elect a new speaker. In the meantime, the House cannot vote on legislation, including the budget for next year. So will Trump's endorsement make a difference? Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl leads us off tonight from D.C.
The United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
The race to replace Kevin McCarthy is on, with two declared candidates and no clear indication that anybody has the votes to win. And now Donald Trump is putting himself front and center. The former president has endorsed Jim Jordan over Steve Scalise for the job and floated the idea that he may come to Capitol Hill next week as Republicans make their choice. But even as Trump endorses Jordan, he is saying that he would be willing to serve as Speaker himself.
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker. All I can say is we'll do whatever is best for the country and for the Republican Party.
Trump ally Steve Bannon has been pushing the idea of Trump serving as Speaker for 100 days. There's no evidence Trump has anywhere near the support needed to be elected Speaker, temporary or otherwise. And current Republican rules actually prohibit anybody under indictment for a felony from serving in leadership. But this is not the first time Trump has made a play for the speakership. In reporting for my upcoming book, Tired of Winning, Donald Trump and the End of the Grand Old Party, I learned that Trump had secretly plotted to get the speaker's gavel back in January, when he was publicly supporting Kevin McCarthy, who was struggling to get the votes he needed. It all started after Matt Gaetz cast his vote for Trump in the 7th round.
Gaetz.
Donald John Trump.
Trump, watching it all on television, didn't like the results.
The Honorable Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 1.
And as the rounds of voting continued, Trump fumed that the problem was he hadn't been formally nominated, and he sent word to Gaetz to do so.
I nominate President Trump because we must make our country great again, and he can start by making the House of Representatives great again.
In the end, the result was the same, just one vote for Donald Trump. Trump has no real chance this time either. But even as Jim Jordan runs for the job, he doesn't want to oppose the former president.
That's where we need him, is at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. If he wants to be Speaker, then that's fine, too.
And John joins us now from Washington. John, a lot going on in the race for the next Speaker. What happens next?
Well, Republicans will come together on Tuesday and talk about this. They'll give each of the candidates right now. There are only the two that I mentioned, Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise, running. It's possible there may be more candidates. Kevin Hern is another candidate, another potential candidate who's talking about running. But it is entirely unclear right now, Phil, whether any of those candidates or potential candidates could get the needed votes to be elected Speaker any more than Kevin McCarthy could. And of course, Trump himself, as I mentioned, is talking about coming to Capitol Hill on Tuesday to be part of this whole process. Entirely unclear whether he will actually go through with that plan, but it is something that he is saying he's thinking about.
Yeah, and that wouldn't complicate things any further.
No, not at all, yeah.
John, on another topic, while we have you, former President Trump is also now responding to those accusations of sharing sensitive information about nuclear submarines. What is he saying about that today?
Yeah, as we reported, Trump allegedly shared that information with an Australian billionaire at Mar-a-Lago some months after he left the White House. We've gotten some conflicting responses from Trump. The first response came from a Trump spokesperson who did not deny our reporting, but said that it lacked, quote, proper context and relevant information, and added that Trump did nothing wrong. But more recently, Trump has come out with a denial saying that the story is wrong and that all he ever did was brag about the great capabilities of America's nuclear submarines. So there you have it, conflicting responses from the former president.
All right, much more to come, I guess. John Karl, thanks so much.
Yes, thank you.
And tonight, President Biden is defending the decision to build 20 miles of the border wall, saying legally he had no choice and would have preferred to use that money for other border needs. Meantime, busloads of migrants continue to arrive in cities all across the country. ABC's Zareen Shah is at the border in San Ysidro, California.
Tonight, Mexican officials reviewing this video, saying it shows hundreds of migrants rushing to enter the U.S., where parts of the wall between Tijuana and San Ysidro need repair. With the surge showing no signs of slowing down, the Biden administration under tremendous pressure to act, and Democrats and Republicans in Congress unable to find a solution. Busloads of migrants driven to cities like Chicago and New York, where officials say they are buckling under the strain.
We're bearing the burden of a federal government that has been absent.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams on a tour of Latin America, making a plea directly to migrants themselves, telling them not to come.
Our hearts are full and endless, but our resources are not.
And here at the border in San Ysidro, with the recent influx of migrants, volunteers are worried they cannot keep up.
It is really disappointing to know that there is no help being provided at a federal level to people.
Facing growing calls to do more. Today in Washington, President Biden on defense after that stunning reversal, announcing a plan to add to the border wall, despite making a campaign promise he would not.
I was told that I had no choice. I can't say I don't like it. I'm not going to do it.
The White House insisting they were following the law and were required to use funds put aside for the wall under the Trump administration. But while announcing the project, Homeland Security Director Alejandro Mayorkas saying there was an acute and immediate need for the construction in order to prevent unlawful entries into the United States.
And Zareen joins us now. Zareen, what are you hearing from volunteers there at the border in California?
Phil, a lot of frustration. Volunteers tell us that the situation is just not sustainable. And if migrants keep coming at this pace, there's just not enough resources to house them. Phil?
Zareen Shah on the border for us tonight. Zareen, thank you. Joining us now for more context and analysis on our nation's immigration emergency is Janet Murguia, President and CEO of Unidos US. That's the nation's largest Latino civil rights and advocacy organization. Janet, first, thanks so much for joining us. Do appreciate it. And I'm wondering what your reaction to the Biden administration sort of reversing its stance on the border wall is.
Well, I think it's fair to say that we were very disappointed to see the president take this step. We think it's a step backwards. You know, Latinos, like all Americans, want a secure and well-managed border. But we've seen time and time again that these types of resources used on a wall just are not effective. They're not effective substantively, and they're not cost effective. And so we were very disappointed to see the president reverse himself on this, and we're hopeful that they will reconsider. We have folks really reviewing as to whether it wouldn't be possible to transfer these funds instead of using them for what he had already said was a wall that he doesn't believe will work.
The question is, why hasn't Congress acted decade after decade on immigration reform?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, we've seen this issue of immigration reform and the border in particular politicized, in particular and most recently by extremists in the Republican Party who have basically said that believe that by using the border, they can gain political posturing. But, we know that the border and managing it is important, but we need sound, sensible policy engagement. Congress has to act in a bipartisan way.
What can organizations like yours be doing to hold our elected officials accountable so they start to prioritize this not only national but hemispheric emergency?
Well, I think advocacy organizations like Unidos US and others, anybody who cares about the future of our country and having us have a brighter future with economic opportunities for everyone, we need to hold our elected officials accountable. And that means not just presidential elections and who's president, but our congressional elections become extremely important, and making sure we're engaging all of the public and certainly voters to really understand a member of Congress and a candidate for a member of Congress's position on this issue. And that might even mean local elected officials. But more and more, we need to have folks who understand that we can address this issue, including the border. And if we look at what the economic opportunities are for this country and the dynamism and the vitality that immigrants can bring, obviously it has to be orderly.
A few years back, you coined a phrase. You famously called former President Obama the deporter-in-chief. President Biden was his then vice president at the time. I'm curious how you characterize the current president.
Well, I would say I think that they have taken some important steps and have tried to address in a piecemeal way some of the gaps in our immigration system, most recently granting what is called temporary protected status to a cohort of immigrants, Venezuelans. But I do think that President Biden and his team can assert more leadership. I think, while we are seeing the Republicans in an extreme way politicize the border, and that is wrong, I would like to see President Biden more fully embrace an American solution that can be shared by our Western Hemispheric partners, including Mexico and Central and South America.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you're right. It's going to be an American solution. Janet Murguia, thank you so much, President and CEO of Unidos US. We appreciate it.
Sure, thank you.
Now to the flash flood threat in the Northeast at this hour as heavy rain continues to move in. New York City, still reeling from last week's record downpour, has activated its flood emergency plan. The wet conditions set up by a cold front heading east from the heartland, running right into remnants of Tropical Storm Philippe, already hitting Bermuda with strong wind and powerful waves. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano has the timing of this storm heading to the U.S. Rob, this flash flood threat here, at least, a little too close to the last one.
Yeah, just a week ago. It feels like a repeat of last week, as a matter of fact, Phil. We've got a similar setup. We got a trough, two systems that are kind of converging and creating a squeeze play right over the Northeast. Here it is, the cold front that you mentioned. It's coming across the Ohio Valley, and then remnants of Philippe. And these got a fair amount of moisture with that. Increasing moisture and rainfall overnight tonight, and by 7 a.m. tomorrow is really going to be tough. If you got any sort of Saturday morning plans outdoors, I think it's going to be a bit of a washout along the I-95 corridor. Certainly, Philippe gets in there during the afternoon area hours, and that's when really New England gets hit hard tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and that's where we'll probably see some flash flooding. We've got alerts up for Maine, we've got alerts up for New York Metro, because even 1 to 2 to 3 inches of rainfall, because we're saturated from last week, could cause some flooding. But I think the bulk of the heaviest rain will be in upstate New York and parts of northern New England. It does clear out relatively quickly, so it'll dry out but cool down. The coldest air of the season coming into Minneapolis, New York, and D.C. with high temperatures on Saturday, on Sunday, only getting up into the mid to upper 50s and 60s. Meanwhile, in the west, we're looking at record-breaking temperatures building there, up and down from Seattle all the way down to San Francisco and into Los Angeles, temps in the 80s and 90s. So we're seeing extreme weather on both coasts this weekend. Phil?
All right, Rob, thanks so much. Now to news of a manhunt in Vermont after the body of a woman was found on a popular trail there. Police are urging people to be vigilant, warning the suspect should be considered armed and dangerous. Here's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, the urgent search now underway for a suspect police say is armed and dangerous after a woman's body was discovered on a rail trail in Castleton, Vermont yesterday afternoon.
There was a female laying on the ground. She's in bad shape.
Police are not disclosing the cause of death, but say gunshots were reported in the area where the victim was found.
The male suspect was described to us as somebody in their possibly late 20s, short, dark hair.
The Vermont State University campus, which is nearby, closed today. People remaining there urged to shelter in place.
It's a small town, so it's a bit alarming, and you never really expect it out here.
Please be vigilant, be safe. Lock your doors, lock your cars. So if you're going to be out, be with a friend or another family member.
And Stephanie joins me now. Stephanie, have police shared any leads on the suspect or even a possible motive at this point?
Not at this point, Phil, but the Vermont State Police are requesting people in the area review their home and business surveillance systems, even their game cameras, since it's a heavily wooded area, to see if they show anything that might help in the investigation. Phil.
Stephanie Ramos tonight. Stephanie, thank you. There is chilling new video tonight of the deadly mass shooting at a popular bar in Orange County, California last summer. A retired police sergeant opened fire targeting his estranged wife. A security camera at the entrance to the bar shows the moment those first shots ring out. People scatter, running from the gunfire. Then the gunman rushes into the scene. Those newly released body camera images show the gun battle when the deputies arrived. Here's Will Carr.
Tonight, dramatic new body camera video showing a deadly shootout between deputies and a retired police officer at a popular bar in Southern California.
Shots fired. I got it. 457 shots fired.
Deputies racing to the Cook's Corner bar in Orange County on August 23rd around 7 p.m. after repeated calls of an active shooter.
There's more gunshots happening right now. Need to get somebody over there immediately.
Tonight, new surveillance video showing the suspect, John Snowling, a retired Ventura police sergeant, opening fire on patrons outside the bar. Authorities say he was targeting his estranged wife. With bullets flying, deputies setting up a perimeter, exchanging fire with the gunman in the bar's parking lot. Snowling armed with 3 handguns and a rifle.
Cover, I'm gonna get my rifle.
One deputy racing to get his rifle from his trunk.
He's reloading behind the tree, He's got a shotgun.
After 5 minutes, the gunfire stopping. Deputies finding the suspect on the ground near that tree with multiple gunshot wounds.
This guy right here, this is gunman right here, this is gunman.
Authorities pronouncing the gunman dead at the scene.
Phil, authorities say that the retired police officer traveled from Ohio to the bar here in California, where he killed 3, shot 6 more, including his estranged wife, before he was shot and killed by officers. Phil.
All right, Will Carr, thank you. Next tonight, the new investigation involving the wife of New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez. Prosecutors are asking whether influence was exerted after a deadly car crash with Nadine Menendez at the wheel. The crash was mentioned in the recent federal indictment of the senator and his wife because a co-defendant gave her a new Mercedes. Senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky.
Tonight, the New Jersey Attorney General's office is investigating whether there was any pressure applied in the police handling of a fatal car crash involving the wife of Senator Bob Menendez.
Why was the guy in the middle of the street?
In 2018, Nadine Menendez, who was dating the senator at the time, struck and killed 49-year-old father Richard Koop, as seen in the surveillance video.
He jumped on my windshield.
Bogota police dashcam video shows an officer talking to Menendez, who declined to have her phone examined and was released without a sobriety test. She was never charged, but the victim's family won an insurance claim against Nadine Menendez. The crash is referenced in the recent indictment that charges the senator, his wife, and 3 businessmen with bribery and extortion conspiracy. Nadine Menendez allegedly texted one of the co-defendants after the crash about her lack of a car. Months later, prosecutors say she bought a $60,000 Mercedes convertible with money supplied in exchange for the senator's intervention in a criminal case.
Aaron joins me now. Aaron, what is the senator saying about all of this tonight?
So far, Senator Menendez is only saying that this crash was a tragic accident. He and his wife, Phil, have each pleaded not guilty to the federal corruption charges, and Senator Menendez has been resisting widespread calls by Democrats for him to resign. Phil?
All right, Aaron Katursky tonight. Thank you. Now to that strong jobs report. Employers created 336,000 new jobs in September. That's nearly double the 170,000 predicted. Meantime, unemployment remains unmatched at 3.8%. President Biden spoke about the numbers today and pushed back when he was pressed on why some Americans, aren't feeling the benefits of the strong economy.
I think that the American people are smart as hell and know what their interests are. I think they know they're better off financially than they were before. It's a fact.
While these job numbers are encouraging, they could also put pressure on the Federal Reserve to keep raising interest rates to keep inflation in check. A federal court has ruled that Alabama must adopt a newly redrawn congressional map that significantly boosts the black population of the 2nd voting district. The Republican-controlled legislature had twice redrawn that map with just one majority black district, though more than a quarter of the state's population is black. In June, the Supreme Court ruled that the legislature's map violated civil rights, and a federal appellate court appointed a special master to redraw the voting districts. The court has now approved that revised map with 2 majority black districts. The Nobel Committee has awarded this year's Peace Prize to imprisoned Iranian activist Narges Mohammadi. The committee commended Mohammadi for her tireless campaigning for women's rights, democracy, and her opposition to the death penalty. The 51-year-old engineer by trade has been in prison 13 times. Her current incarceration began 2 years ago when she was detained after attending a memorial for a person killed in protests against an increase in gas prices. Even from jail, she is a leading light for the current nationwide women-led protest sparked by the death last year of a 22-year-old woman in police custody. This week, the Nobel Prize Committee also awarded the prize in physics to 3 researchers who advanced the study of electrons, and the prize in medicine went to 2 people who developed the methods to create mRNA vaccines against COVID-19. There is still much more to get to here on Prime tonight. Coming up, after postponing his tour because of health issues, Bruce Springsteen says he'll be back on the road next year. We're going to have details for you. But next, families struggle with the return of student loan payments after the long pandemic pause. Some now rethinking their education choices as they feel the financial pain.
Do you regret going and getting that master's?
I do, unfortunately. You know, and that like internally makes me very sad because it's something to be proud of, but I regret it.
Whenever news breaks.
The crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Everybody in that home is okay.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. We are here at fashion's biggest night out.
What's happening today? YouTube has unveiled a new set of policies.
What people are talking about. The new ad campaign.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
A real-life Barbie dream house.
A name change for the Wienermobile.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back. We turn now to the financial squeeze for millions of Americans faced with resuming student loan payments this month following a years-long COVID-era hiatus. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze looks at what it could mean for the American economy and for families with mounting debt.
Hi, Bubba.
At 4 p.m. every day, Sarah Wood welcomes home her husband, Ross, and their 8-year-old twin daughters.
Apples and peanut butter, cheese and crackers.
Ross teaches at the girls' school in Denver. That, too, was once Sarah's career.
I come out of grad school at the age 27, an educator ready to take on the world of special education.
Sarah's dream was to teach children with autism, so she decided to take out a $118,000 student loan to get her master's in education from Columbia University.
I applied to a handful of education schools, and I got into the best. And there was pride in that, right?
She started teaching in Denver.
These are great memories. I remember all of these kids so well.
Lexi says, I love you.
I loved her, too.
But when their twin daughters were born, the weight of the loans became crushing.
There you go, you got your snack. Between the loans, the amount of that, and the two of us being paid on a teacher's salary, that wasn't going to work.
Sarah quit teaching for a job in consulting so she could afford the $440 payments on her loans every month.
The interest is 7.65.
It's a pretty high interest rate.
But at a nearly 8% interest rate, her $118,000 balance ballooned to $180,000.
It was obviously not the smartest decision, right? Like, I could have made another decision. It's terrible. It's a huge number that we have to deal with. We have to think of and we have to budget for every day, and we have to budget for the future consequences of this loan every single day. It's the thing that I am probably the most ashamed of in my life.
Sarah is one of 28 million borrowers once again on the hook for paying off their loans, ending a pause that began in 2020 when the pandemic hit.
To help our students and their families, I've waived interest on all student loans held by federal government agencies, and that will be until further notice.
In an unprecedented effort to give borrowers financial relief, the Trump administration paused payments on federal student loans and froze interest rates at 0%.
Oh, that was so close!
For Sarah, it was a rare opportunity to save for her daughter's college education.
My husband and I sat down, and with us both on a payment pause, it's like, let's put whatever we can towards our daughter's 529s. Having both been through this situation that we want to so strongly avoid for them, we were able to save more towards their college education.
The pause endured for more than 3 years through 8 extensions, finally ending October 1st.
Are there areas in your budget that will change now that you will be making those payments again toward your loans?
Yeah, certainly. It's just a tightening of the belt across all areas. You need to live in a house, you need to pay groceries, you need to eat, and then from there on, you kind of have to figure out where to skimp and save.
I think for most student loan borrowers, what it means is that they got to make some hard choices.
Economist Mark Zandi says restarting payments will create headwinds for the American economy.
It was very helpful in the time. Obviously, we got to move on now, and that is not comfortable. That's painful, and that's the process we're engaged in at the current time.
He says the average payment of $200 to $300 a month will force borrowers to tighten their budgets, already stretched by rising interest rates and inflation.
If you consider the higher inflation of the past couple of years, the typical American household is now spending $750 more a month to buy the same goods and services they were just because of the higher inflation.
So when you add an average student loan payment of between $200 and $300 onto that, that adds up.
They're now shelling out $1,000 more plus each month to kind of just do what they had been doing.
These numbers are pretty significant.
Having to resume payments will force borrowers like first-generation college graduate Michael Lopez in Anaheim, California, to make compromises.
That's a really big chunk, of our spending every month that would go towards that.
The 33-year-old's goal of becoming a social worker led him to pursue a master's degree after a degree in sociology at a state school. He now owes $240,000 in student debt.
That's an astronomical number. The only time I've seen a bigger number than that is when we bought our house.
His monthly bill, nearly $800.
We all deserve an opportunity for education, and however I had to make that happen, I was going to make it happen.
Did you ever consider a career where you could make more money, easily pay off those debts?
Actually, no. This is just too meaningful to me. You know, it's kind of, I feel like it was what I was designed to do, was to help people. And so, yeah, I'm proud of it, and it's exactly where I want to be.
Even if you have $200,000 plus in debt hanging over your head?
Yeah.
Michael says the payment pause opened up the opportunity for another major first in his family.
I ask myself a lot of times, you know, whether or not it's a dream.
Being able to take advantage of record low mortgage rates in 2020 and buy a home.
I was like, I don't know if we'll ever own a home. And the fact that we were able to do that because of the pause was just like, I mean, mind-blowing.
And now he and his wife have their first baby on the way. But fulfilling that American dream came at a cost.
Some might say, well, now you've taken on even more debt and you still have to pay your student loans back. Was that really a smart financial decision?
I think so. We're quickly building a lot of equity in the home, and that's a long-term investment for us as well and for our kids.
Michael followed every twist and turn of the payment pause, hoping it would spur broader student debt reform in Washington.
I've become more plugged into politics than I ever have in my life.
Millions of Americans in this country who feel disappointed and discouraged or even a little bit angry.
When President Biden in 2022 proposed debt cancellation of up to $20,000 for millions of Americans, Michael was elated, only to see that plan struck down by the Supreme Court.
Critics of loan forgiveness, especially with student debt, say so many Americans had to pay their own debt. Why should this generation be any different?
Yes, there are folks who have worked for it and were able to pay. Mind you, some of those folks paid a lot less than what we're paying these days. But, you know, that's a privilege to be able to do that, right?
I sympathize with those who did pay off their loans and feel that we should have to do the same. But my argument against that would be we want to be a culture of progress. I wouldn't say to a young woman who's going to have children like, oh, well, you shouldn't get 24 weeks of paid maternity leave because I didn't get that. We notice areas where we could improve, and as a culture, we aim to make progress.
Sarah says one step toward progress would be permanently lowering interest rates on student loan debt.
Do you regret going and getting that master's?
I do, unfortunately. You know, and that like internally makes me very sad because it's something to be proud of, but I regret it. It's not just enough. It's anxiety. Again, it's taking away from what I can do for my children in the future. It's what we can do month to month. It's a constant battle.
Our thanks to Elizabeth Schulze for that report. Still ahead here on Prime, the massive 3-day healthcare strike is set to end without a deal. We'll explain what could happen next and what authorities are saying tonight about a disturbing discovery at a Colorado funeral home. But next, it's a matchup of star-studded super teams. We're going to take a look at the WNBA Finals kicking off this weekend by the numbers.
More Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
Here along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute.
Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show. First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Everybody in that home is okay.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. We are here at fashion's biggest night out.
What's happening today? YouTube has unveiled a new set of policies.
What people are talking about. The new ad campaign.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
A real-life Barbie dream house.
A name change for the Wienermobile.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
What will happen when Michael Strahan leaves the studio and enters the ballroom as a guest judge for Dancing with the Stars? Well, it all starts this Tuesday morning on GMA, live from the ballroom with all the backstage buzz. Then Tuesday night, it's showtime.
Come on, it's Strahan up in the Dancing with the Stars ballroom. Stray, you got to bring the heat, baby.
And then Wednesday morning, it's Michael with the Morning After live. Dancing with the Stars has never had a guest judge like this. Starting Tuesday on Good Morning America.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode.
What are we serving up?
Well, how about everything you need to know?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
Give it to me. Your health, your money, breaking news, pop culture, with the biggest stars, music, trends, and of course, good food. GMA 3, what you need to know. A third hour of GMA in the afternoon.
So join us, afternoons.
For everything you need to know. I love that.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. This weekend, the WNBA finals that seemed destined from the start get underway, and we have a look at the so-called super teams battling for the title by the numbers. From the East, the New York Liberty went 32-8 in the regular season, thanks in part to the addition of 3 superstars in free agency, including former Seattle Storm star Breanna Stewart. The Liberty haven't had a shot at the title since 2002, and their drive to capture the franchise's first championship is very clear. But from the West, the defending champs, Las Vegas Aces, finished 34-6 in their regular season and are the betting favorites to win it all. If they do, they'll become the first team since 2002 to win back-to-back titles. While the players may quibble with the super team labels, their stats do speak for themselves. Between them, the teams have 3 league MVPs, 2 finals MVPs, the last 2 Commissioners' Cup MVPs, and 5 #1 draft picks. And by the way, don't forget 32 All-Star selections. Whatever you choose to call that much player power on one court, the action tips off Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC. And there is much more ahead tonight on Prime, a story of grief and unexpected generosity and companionship. We speak with the legendary Luis Guzmán about the new film, Story Ave. And Latin pop band sensation RBD is back with a reunion tour. Alex Perez looks at their rise to fame and what it's like to be back on the road with their fans.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Everybody in that home is okay.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. We are here at fashion's biggest night out.
What's happening today? YouTube has unveiled a new set of policies.
What people are talking about, the new ad campaign.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
A real-life Barbie dream house.
A name change for the Wienermobile.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
Wherever news breaks, it's so important to always remember that lives are changed. Getting you behind the stories as they happen. ABC News Live Prime. We'll take you there.
Streaming free. Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Can I hug you?
Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back. A massive 3-day strike of healthcare workers is coming to an end with no deal in sight. Hackers threaten more cyber attacks against top casinos, and a Wisconsin suburb seeing some unexpected 4-legged visitors. These stories and more in tonight's rundown.
It's the final day this week of the largest union healthcare worker strike in the U.S.
No deal yet to end the Kaiser Permanente healthcare workers strike. 75,000 workers from California to Washington, D.C., demanding better pay and staffing. Talks continue, but Kaiser is limiting elective and non-emergency procedures going forward.
Union officials warning if talks over pay raises and staffing shortages don't progress, they could strike again in November.
A shocking discovery in a Colorado funeral home. 115 decaying bodies improperly stored, with officials saying the owner tried to cover up the mistake. The facility has been unlicensed for about 10 months. State regulators said the location was a green funeral home that didn't use embalming fluids or metal caskets. Officials are uncertain if any crime took place and said there is no health risk to the public.
There have been no arrests to date, and we don't want to speculate about arrests or possible charges at this time. We're focusing on our investigation and our victims.
Bottle attacks that started near Bryant Park yesterday. We know a man has now been charged. It's 33-year-old Michael Howell. Police say he first attacked the guy near 6th Avenue and 42nd Street outside the Whole Foods. And then police say he went inside the store and then hit a woman on the 2nd floor. And then about an hour later, a 3rd victim was hit on a northbound D train by Rockefeller Center, where Howell was later arrested.
The hackers that brought down computer systems at MGM properties, from the Borgata in Atlantic City to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, threatening more attacks if a deal is not reached. The outages frustrating guests at the 13 hotels and casinos along the Strip. This, the second major attack on casinos in just days. Caesars now offering identity theft protection to customers in their loyalty program whose personal information may have been compromised.
Bruce Springsteen is already planning his return to the stage. The boss and his band were forced to postpone the rest of his concerts this year because of his health. He's being treated for peptic ulcer disease, which can cause ulcers in the stomach or intestine. He released a list of rescheduled dates today, beginning with Phoenix on March 19th. All tickets from postponed concerts are still valid for the rescheduled shows. This is the E Street Band's 16th concert tour since 1974. Steer clear, cows coming through. Residents in a Wisconsin suburb woke up to a herd of cows traipsing through their neighborhood. Residents reported a brief stampede as the herd arrived and then wandered aimlessly around the subdivision. The bovine stock was eventually led back to their home at a nearby farm. The owner of the farm said the cows escaped because someone left the barn door open.
We are tracking several headlines around the world at this hour as well. Guatemala's highest court has upheld the suspension of the political party led by President-elect Bernardo Arevalo. The party is accused of committing voter and registration fraud in recent elections. Earlier this week, thousands of Arevalo's supporters blocked highways after the Attorney General's office seized voter tallies from electoral authorities. Arevalo says political motivated prosecutors are trying to overturn his victory. The prime ministers of Hungary and Poland have rejected an EU migration pact which would have overhauled asylum rolls in all member nations. The proposed pact had been touted as the answer to the EU's struggle to manage large numbers of asylum seekers. Other EU member nations said the plan to continue to pursue a bloc-wide pact on that issue. And in northern India, rescue crews are digging through fast-flowing icy floodwaters in search of survivors after a glacial lake overflowed and burst through a dam in the Himalayas. It's a disaster that many have warned was possible for years. At least 41 people were killed, with the racing floodwaters carrying their bodies miles away. Officials have set up relief camps for more than 22,000 people forced to flee their homes. Story Ab chronicles a teen in the Bronx who's struck by grief and on a downward spiral after losing his brother. The plot unfolds as he attempts to rob an MTA worker on the subway platform who reacts with surprising generosity. Let's take a look.
What kind of writer are you? The streets tell you what you are. I don't know how I'm gonna ever repay you.
Let's focus on you showing that school what you made of.
So they saying they want to see my perspective. But I don't know if it was meant for life outside the Bronx.
As we continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month and highlight the amazing people within the diaspora, joining us today is legendary Boricua Luis Guzmán to discuss his latest role in the breakout hit, as you just saw, Story Ab. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Really do appreciate having you here. This film has been very well received. Shows are selling out, and the film also won the Special Jury Award for Cinematography at South by Southwest. It is a beautifully shot film. Did you anticipate this level of success, say, while you were filming it?
Well, I knew we had a very special script, a very special story. And when I found out that I was working with the young man, Asante Black, you know, I've seen him in a few things, and he's amazing. To me, he's a trailblazer. And so to be paired with him, this kind of story, I just knew we just had something really super special.
It's one of those things when you see the script that it's something you have to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, listen, it took a year and a half for me to get the script because it was sent around and it came to me in a roundabout way through a friend. I read the script in one sitting and I called my people. I said, yo, I'm doing this movie. You know, it's beautiful, it's heartfelt, you know, it's like a kind of movie that the world needs right now.
You serve as executive producer of the film as well. What made you take on that role? Was it something about this particular film, or was it the timing? What was it?
Well, you know, I find that in our industry, there are not enough brown people who are in those positions. And I wanted this film to get made. I was a champion of it. You know, I was a huge advocate. Myself and my son, Semi Guzmán, we went out and we raised some of the money for this film. I mean, it's a beautiful story. Like I said, I read a lot of scripts, You know, sometimes I get to page 10, I'm done.
That's it, I'm out.
Yeah, right. This script, I read it all the way to the end, and I like immediately I knew, you know. And also Aristotle Torres, who wrote and directed this beautiful film. I mean, he wrote this for me.
If you mentioned Asante Black, you are a seasoned actor who any young actor would want to work with. But what was it like, you know, flip side, working with a young actor like that?
Oh man, you know, he's such a gift. He just kind of just put himself in that. I tell you, we would shoot scenes, and I would just watch him, you know. And even though I've worked with everybody, I've done everything.
Yeah, you have.
But it's so beautiful just to watch this young person and how he took on this role. And I felt every word that he said. It was very emotional. Yeah.
The future of acting, right?
Absolutely.
So we've got to say the SAG-AFTRA strike is still in full swing. The reason you are able to speak with us here today is because the union has granted some waivers to a certain number of indie films. Despite these interim agreements, there are still many fighting along the picket lines. Do you think something like this, you know, a waiver to indie films, do you think that's going to help during the negotiations?
Well, I think that indie films are the heart and soul of the industry, because so many great movies come out from the indie world. If you think about it, it's not a $100 million movie. It's not a $200 million movie. You know, it's not that kind of commercial movie. It's a heart and soul kind of movie.
Absolutely.
And that's what, to me, indie filmmaking has always been about. And this is a great opportunity for independent filmmakers to say, hey, man, we got an avenue. Let's take it. Let's do it.
Fan of yours for a long time, and it's a beautiful role you play.
Muchas gracias.
Luis Guzmán, thanks so much. We do appreciate you taking the time. And the film Story Ave is out in theaters now.
Right on.
Global sensation RBD, a Latin pop band that took the world by storm back in the 2000s, are now marking a new era with a sold-out reunion tour. One of the most successful Latin pop groups of all time talks about their rise to fame and their remarkable return to the fans. ABC's Alex Perez with more.
Tras de mí is a hit song from the Mexican Latin pop group RBD, which translates to the letters RBD, now on tour here in the U.S. with their much-anticipated reunion tour, Soy Rebelde.
We never thought that this was going to be as big as it is. With our second date in the Madison Square Garden, sold out.
RBD is like when Backstreet Boys and NSYNC reunited. It represents an era. It represents a generation.
RBD became an international sensation in the mid-2000s, selling over 15 million records, making them one of the best-selling Latin music groups of all time. Now, they're back together for the first time in 15 years.
I've been a fan since I was probably 6 years old. It just became a whole thing for myself.
I think I'm a fan, an RBD fan, since I was 10 in Brazil, and I was singing all the songs, and now I'm 28, so 18 years.
We caught up with two of the pop group's biggest stars, Cristian Chavez and Maite Perroni, to hear about the thrill of being back on tour.
We are on stage. We can feel every single person singing our song. It's like the soundtrack of your life. It's like remembering your childhood, your friends, your boyfriend, all that things you already lived, but they are in your heart.
One of their biggest reunion hits is Cerquita de Ti, a song about a long-time connection that perfectly encapsulates the nostalgia ahead of their long-awaited reunion tour. RBD first got its start in 2004 on Televisa's hit Mexican telenovela Rebelde. A group played high schoolers who formed the band.
No entiendo. ¿Cómo?
And then later, they became a band in real life.
We were part of a TV show, and the group jumped from the TV show to real life.
We broke all the records and we did amazing things that we can't even dream, right? It was like we were on a TV show, we were singing and we were dancing, and suddenly we were on mainstream.
RBD's first breakout song in 2004, Rebelde, became an anthem for an entire generation of Latinos around the world.
I was in Dominican Republic at that time, and it was huge. They were everywhere, from Barbies to school things.
I remember having all their CDs. I would save up money. It was a huge thing.
RBD, over the years, attracting a cult-like following, inspiring the next generation of Latin artists. Their hit song, Sálvame, even covered by Puerto Rican reggaeton star Bad Bunny in a now viral TikTok video. RBD is now one of many acts driving an all-new Latin music revolution. From superstar Bad Bunny to Becky G to J Balvin, Latin and Spanish language music is experiencing unprecedented heights of mainstream popularity here in the U.S. and globally.
We do believe that right now is the Latino moment.
Language definitely matters less now. I think people are looking for a feeling, an energy, a vibe.
Hablar español, it's hot. Right now, like talking Spanish and knowing certain words in Spanish, they're hot.
Latin music and culture has created its own space. The numbers speak for itself. I mean, Karol G is out there performing right now. Bad Bunny, the #1 artist last year.
It's a renaissance of Latin pop, but we love to be part of this.
Today, RBD is reaching new fans around the world through streaming platforms that were just beginning to take off in the 2000s.
Streaming changed the Latin music because now you have different ways of putting your music out there.
There's no gatekeepers. It's the music, it's the artist, and it's the fan.
Before it was really the record labels and you had to have radio support, but now it's a new way of working.
Streaming now enabling nostalgia groups like RBD to reach all new audiences around the world.
We were impressed because when the songs went into the platform, I remember being in the top 50. It was Rebelde, Rebelde, Rebelde.
There's so many Latino artists that are in the charts, and they're so powerful around the world that we feel so humble and happy to be part of this movement.
Latin music is a culture and not a genre. We are mainstream, and we're here to stay.
Of course, we feel very proud of what Mexican artists can do around the world. We know we are a very powerful community.
Latin music is power, is rhythm, and is flavor.
Latin music is life, is strength, and it's fun.
The soundtrack to so many lives. Alex Perez, thank you so much. And that's our show for tonight. I'm Phil Lipoff. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and of course, on abcnews.com.
Wherever news breaks, it's so important to always remember that lives are changed. Getting you behind the stories as they happen